What is going on, people? TripleM back again with another video. It's a daily dose of football content, and today I want to talk about my beloved club from Manchester as they get absolutely embarrassed and outclassed away from home at Villa Park, 3-1. What an embarrassing game. Honestly, a shambolic performance by Manchester United. And by the way, credit to Aston Villa. They played magnificently and they did what they needed to do to pretty much close out the game within the first half. And honestly, what a perfect start to life under Unai Emery. But let's talk about Manchester United, because I think there is a lot that needs to be spoken about. I think that Manchester United have received a lot of praise recently, and rightfully so. They've made a lot of steps in the right direction, and there's been genuine signs of improvement. But there's also been a lot of moments, like today, where you can clearly see that this team is still a massive work in progress. And there's still a lot of issues that Erik ten Hag needs to solve. For example, Christian Eriksen. I don't think he had a good game today. Now, I will get onto him in a moment, but I want to talk about the defense. Martinez was caught wrong-footed on the first goal. I think he was the one who gave away the ball in the middle of the park. But whether he was the one who gave away the ball or not is irrelevant, because him and Lindelof were caught wrong-footed. First of all, they shouldn't even be playing on that side. Lindelof should be playing on the right. Martinez should be playing on the left. But for some reason, they were switched. And that gave Eric Ramsey an opportunity to catch Martinez wrong-footed and play a perfectly threaded through ball to Leon Bailey for the first goal within the first, I think, 5 minutes of the game, first 10 minutes or whatever. Fantastic goal by Leon Bailey. The third goal, which was from open play by Aston Villa, and this was in the second half, was very similar to the first goal in the sense that I think a lot of people were caught napping. A lot of people were caught napping, not doing what they're supposed to do. First of all, Diego Dalot does what he can to try stop the cross. And I think it was Lindelof who was just behind him, trying to scramble basically into a good defensive position. He obviously failed. The ball comes across, and it's a ball that's threaded to the edge of the box. Rather than going across the 6-yard box, he actually looked up and threaded it to his teammate here. And I believe it was Ramsey who had all this open space to work with. First of all, Eriksen, ball watching. I don't know why Eriksen is standing in our 6-yard box when there is a runner on the half, literally on our box, running in from the halfway line. I don't know why Luke Shaw is tucked in, basically sitting in front of the front post in open play. It wasn't a corner. It wasn't a set piece. This was in open play. I don't know what Luke Shaw is doing over here. Martinez, I don't know what he's doing here either, because out of Lindelof and Martinez is the aggressive one. Martinez is the one who should be stepping up. Martinez is the one who should be looking to make the aggressive challenges. And he did that for most of today's game. It's just that in the moments where it mattered most, he wasn't able to do that. He had lapses in concentration, lapses in positional awareness, and just overall lapses in judgment as a footballer. And he made a lot of mistakes that cost us today. Equally, Lindelof was too passive. But the thing is with Lindelof is we know that he's a passive defender. Lindelof is not a proactive defender. He's a reactive defender. In other words, he waits to see what the opposition does, then tries to react. Martinez is the more proactive one. He doesn't care what you're going to do. He doesn't care what your grand plan is 3 moves into the future. He's going to try to stop you in your tracks. But he wasn't doing that today. He wasn't as aggressive as he usually is, and he wasn't as efficient as he usually is when it mattered most. That was the first issue for Manchester United. Now, you could extend that to Luke Shaw. You could extend that to Diego Dalot. Sure. But I think the biggest issue is our midfield. And back to Christian Eriksen, the person I mentioned at the beginning of the video. He's just not good enough defensively. He's not good enough defensively. And I don't think people talk about this enough. Casemiro is a CDM. Casemiro is great at reading the game and being a ball-winning midfielder. But he can't do it alone. He cannot do it alone. Part of defending relies on other people pulling their weight. Donny van de Beek didn't drop back enough today. He did not track back enough today. Marcus Rashford as well. He was also culpable because there were moments in the game where Manchester United were defending deep in their own half, right? And there were moments where Casemiro got back, Eriksen got back, but Donny van de Beek wasn't back. And Garnacho was back, to be fair. Garnacho did his part. But there was moments in the game where we only had 7 men back and Aston Villa were bombing forward, and these 3 weren't doing their job defensively. And what that does is, if Aston Villa are passing in this area of the pitch, look at all this open space. Look at all this open space. There were so many moments in today's game where Manchester United were defending really deep, but there wasn't a proper team cohesion in the way that we defended. There wasn't proper communication of, guys, let's come back. Let's drop deep. Strikers, you included. Rashford, Ronaldo, please come help. Drop back. There was none of that today. It was almost a free-for-all. It was almost as if, you know what, I'm just going to try to do my part so I don't get blamed for conceding the goal. And it's a terrible, terrible thing. It's a terrible, terrible thing. Now, I don't want to take anything away from Aston Villa. I don't want to make it sound like, Manchester United played badly and that's the reason why Villa looked so good. No, Villa deserve credit because they rattled us early on. I think if Villa don't get that early goal and the free kick from Digne doesn't go in, Manchester United actually see that game out. They control possession and they have a good game. But I think Villa starting off on the front foot caught Manchester United off guard and it completely rattled their confidence. In the last 10 games, Manchester United have not conceded that often in the first half. We haven't gone down that often. Usually, we're either up at halftime or it's 0-0. So we've had a comfortable ride. We've had things go our way. We've had things work in our favor and go to plan. But today, it didn't go to plan. Today, it didn't follow the script. And the response from Manchester United was very, very eye-opening. I'm not going to say disappointing because even though I'm upset as a Manchester United fan and I don't like seeing my team lose, I'm not an idiot. I'm not naive. I'm aware that Erik ten Hag is still a new manager at Old Trafford. He's only been here for a few weeks, actually a couple of months. So naturally, there's going to be results like this, especially away from home in the Premier League. It's going to happen. So I'm not disappointed in the sense that I didn't expect this to happen. No, I'm disappointed in the sense that we didn't try hard enough. There were things that had nothing to do with talent or skill that Manchester United players just weren't doing. For example, tracking back, watching your runner, making sure that you're not ball watching and standing in open space whilst your teammates are chasing shadows, making sure that you yourself are doing something. That's all we ask, is that you do something. And I don't think that that would have changed much, but at least it would have given us fans a sign that, you know what, these guys are trying. That's the only real criticism and the only real big disappointment I have of today. The other stuff, not really bothered because I think that Erik ten Hag is going to fix some of these issues as time goes along. But apart from that, I haven't really got much else to say. The game itself was probably very entertaining from a neutral point of view. But from a United point of view, man, it was just a difficult game to watch. I thought Delot didn't have a great game. Shaw didn't have a great game. Martinez didn't have a great game. I don't think Lindelof had a great game. De Gea didn't have a great game. Rashford was terrible. Donny was terrible. He was a ghost. Ronaldo was anonymous as well. His one chance that he got, he headed straight down towards the keeper. So he was just anonymous. Garnacho, again, he had a few bright moments here and there, but didn't really do much. Not to his own fault. I'm not blaming the kid, but he didn't have a great game, right? You can't just say he had a great game out of sympathy because the rest of the team was bad. No, he's included in that. He's a part of the team. He didn't play well either. It was just a terrible performance all around by Manchester United. And honestly, I don't know what to say, but I guess this was to be expected, This was to be expected. Anyways, it's been your boy TripleM. Leave a like on the video if you want to support the channel. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Peace.